Well, Russ, it says we are live. What is up, my friend? How are you?
Pretty good, man. How you doing?
I'm
Is
doing all
that
right. What's that?
is that a Shinsuke Nakamura shirt?
Oh yeah. This is a Shinsuke Nakamura shirt.
Nice.
This is this is an image Lady Prime found online, and she ironed it onto a shirt.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, we were going to Ring of Honor shows back in the day, and so she wanted to have a shirt that nobody else had. This is the kind of people we are. We're wrestling snobs,
Yeah.
and and this shirt has got a lot of comments. So yeah, it's a cool image. I don't know where she got the image from. Let me turn down my phone. Oh look. Speaking of, there's Lady Prime right there. Boo.
We got our first hater in the
Russ,
chat.
yeah. Do you have a message for Lady Prime?
At least she didn't make you a Chris Jericho shirt.
And there we go. All right, I may turn that back on in a bit, but I have it off right now. Russ, we're to talking. Oh no, I just gave a spoiler on who Matt Hardy's mystery opponent. I mean, a mystery tag partner is going to be. We're to talking about No Way Out 2006. Now, I don't know if you noticed this when I told you, hey, you want to get together, watch pay-per-view, just talk about it. We can go live or whatever. But that was 20 years ago. No Way Out 2006, February of 2006. 20 years ago. I was 25 years old when this pay-per-view came out. And honestly, it feels like it was yesterday. Feels like it was. Where does time go?
2006, I would have been 26.
See, there we go. See, I don't turn 26 until October of that year. So yeah, 20 years, man.
So a little bit sooner.
Got you. Had you seen this pay-per-view before?
I had, but it had been years. It's been like a long time. I think
Gotcha.
I watched it. I watched it back when WWE Network first came out.
Man, we didn't know how good we had it with the WWE Network. We had we had every Nitro. They eventually put every Thunder on there. We had every Raw, every SmackDown. At least,
and I love the way they had it like chopped up so you could just jump to a certain match.
Yes. Peacock didn't have that. Netflix doesn't have that. What a disappointment it is. I was hoping the Netflix library would be a little bit better. They didn't have it. And I don't know where the WCW library is going to wind up, unless it's just going to be on YouTube. But I need to get the YouTube version where they don't play ads every 3 minutes, because I tried watching a WCW pay-per-view the other day, but it was ad after ad after ad after ad. And so I've got to figure something out.
On TKO, they'll put it on a completely different stream and stuff. Put it on like Paramount Plus or something. You have to get another stream.
I mean, just do a cheap one, and I'll be there. I didn't take advantage of WWE Network like I should have when I had access to it, and I didn't take advantage of Peacock when I had access to it. Yeah. I had this big plan to watch every Raw and Nitro pay-per-view, throughout the years, and I started it, never fulfilled that commitment. So, but the old WWE Network is definitely missed. Yes, like you said, the match, just being able to skip to the next match, and find who I wanted to wrestle, or like remember you, Lady Prime, and myself. I think maybe even DJ Wise. We did the best match of 2014, and we were. If it was on a certain pay-per-view, we had to fast forward it and try to locate where it was at. Or if it was on a certain SmackDown, we had to fast forward it, try to locate where it was at, versus being able to skip to where it needed to be. So, alrighty, sir. Let's see. Got the phone here. Any other thoughts before we jump into this pay-per-view?
No, I don't think so.
Are you actively watching Raw right now? You have Netflix, so this is where Raw is at nowadays.
I usually wait until later that night or the next day, so I don't have to watch all the commercial breaks.
Smart man. Smart man. Since it's gone live to Netflix, well, most of the time I was working Monday nights. I did catch, I believe, the first episode when it went to Netflix. I happened to be off that week. And since then, I may have seen only 1 or 2 episodes live as it happened. And they were episodes that happened while they were overseas. So the rest, they had the show during the day, and I was able to see it. Now I'm off Monday nights, and I haven't watched I watched the episode. Maybe it was their season premiere. It was their Stranger Things episode where CM Punk and Braun Breaker in the cage match. And it's so hard to actively watch the way I used to. And I don't know if it's just, we're old men now.
Yeah.
We're grumpy. Bring back my wrestling. I don't know if that's what it is.
I know. Yeah. I mean, I've noticed about 9 o'clock, I start getting real sleepy. Hard to stay awake.
There's another thing is that, I'm because I work overnights. Even the days I'm off, I crash out pretty early. Well, Russ, No Way Out 2006. As you watched it, I'm sure you saw the video to lead into the matches. The opening video, the opening presentation of this pay-per-view event. And I was going to say this is a 2-match pay-per-view.
Pretty much.
Well, and that's how they pretty much did the build-up video. It was talking about Randy Orton versus Rey Mysterio and Kurt Angle versus The Undertaker. Kurt Angle versus The Undertaker, a hidden gem. We'll get to that. A young Randy Orton versus Mysterio, a match that you can still have today. Those guys are still going. Yeah. Maybe not as strong, but they're still going today. But, hey, what's up, Kenneth Bird?
What's up, Kenneth?
Hope you're doing well. Russ and I are just talking about No Way Out 2006, the WWE pay-per-view that took place 20 years ago.
Man,
20 years ago.
Man.
I tell you, man. Robert Springs, what is up? He says, hello, Fanboy Prime and Russ. Good to see you, Robert Springs. Hope you're doing well. So this was a SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view. To me, the SmackDown pay-per-views never had the star power the Raw pay-per-views had, even back then.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
I would say so, outside of maybe a match or two, like you said.
Got you. All righty, the first match, the opening match at 9 minutes and 42 seconds was Gregory Helms in a Cruiserweight Open match for the Cruiserweight WWE Cruiserweight title. It was Gregory Helms versus Brian Kendrick, Funaki, SmackDown's number one commentator, number one interviewer or announcer, whatever it was. Kid Cash, who I forgot. Yes, the Indeed.
I had completely forgotten about Kid Cash.
Yes, man, I forgot about Kid Cash being in this. That was a blast from the past. Kid Cash, Nunzio, Paul London, Psychosis, Scotty Too Hottie, and Super Crazy. What'd you think of this match?
I like the match. I had also forgotten that Gregory Helms actually was in the WWE before he was Hurricane. I had forgotten too, man.
This is his run after Hurricane.
Oh, it was after?
Yeah, this is after Hurricane. Because he was Hurricane during the Invasion angle. He was just Gregory. He was I don't remember if he was Sugar Shane Helms. I know that was in WCW, but he may have already been that. But he kind of hit the Hurricane thing with Stone Cold saw his tattoo, his Green Lantern tattoo, and Green Lantern once beat up Superman or something like that. It was in one of his promos, and that's where they gave him the superhero gimmick. But this is after, so this is where he decided to get serious for a while. And if I'm not mistaken, it began by him turning on Rosie, and I think
superhero in training.
Yes. I think. And I didn't do research on it. I believe he returned at the Royal Rumble the previous month, and that's where this Gregory Helms character kind of goes. Could be wrong. Could have been a few months before that, but this is his serious run as the WWE Cruiserweight Champion. A lot of people in this match. It's an okay match. I didn't hate it, but I will say this: WCW Cruiserweight Wrestling and Cruiserweights in general far better than WWE cruiserweights and the matches. The WCW cruiserweight matches were just speed, and it was like a lot faster, a lot more going on, a lot more action. And I feel like WWE cruiserweights were told to wrestle as heavyweights, but being cruiserweights, have those same type of matches. It didn't feel as exciting as the WCW ones.
Yeah.
Sorry, I get to keep getting water. Yeah, but I just it's a good match for what it was. Hey, let's just throw a bunch of guys in the ring, let a bunch of chaos happen. Did you have any favorites in this match?
Oh man, it was kind of cool getting to see like the Mexicools wrestle again. I remember I was a fan of Super Crazy back in the day.
I'm crazy. Yeah. Super Crazy had a pretty good Raw run there. As a half Hispanic guy, I can say that I am not offended by by the Mexicools and their Wandiers right into the ring.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. and I wish that was still a thing. It's funny because growing up, my stepdad would work on a tractor, and I would always make the Juan Deere joke. So I thought that was exclusive to myself. I didn't know that was a big thing. And then I see it on wrestling. I see it on WWE one day, and I'm like, oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Let's see.
Probably all of Vince McMahon gimmick too.
Oh man, I love that it was lawnmowers too, man. Like they could come cut your grass and have a good match in your front yard. It's good stuff.
It's almost as good as when he made Chavo be Kerwin White.
Oh man. Oh,
that was crazy.
Oh man. If I'm not mistaken, he came to the ring with that little golf cart too.
Yeah.
God, so good, so good. I don't know. I love tiptoeing that racism line. It just seems so ridiculous, but funny. Like I said, I was a huge fan of the Mexicools. Yeah, I was not offended by that. Most of the Hispanic people I grew up with knew in San Antonio got a kick out of that too. So I'll tell you this: no one is more racist towards Hispanic people than other Hispanic people or other Mexicans. So they loved the Mexicool gimmick. Gregory Helms wins the match. I think that was the right choice given the guys. I don't think there was anybody that was like really built to carry the fanboy is for the people. Thank you. Thank you.
I was like Facebook. What?
Yeah, Facebook. Gregory Helms wins the match. I don't see anybody here that could carry this division. Kendrick and London were a pretty good tag team. Funaki was never treated as anything more than SmackDown's #1 announcer. Nunzio was a joke. Kid Cash, there was probably something there.
Yeah.
But they, but if they didn't like him, they didn't like him. Psychosis, I thought was great. I always thought Psychosis was a great wrestler, but he was always in Rey Mysterio's shadow. We never got to continue the Psychosis Rey Mysterio feud in WWE. I think that was a missed opportunity there. Super Crazy got some play on Raw for a while there as their Hispanic superhero, their Hispanic wrestler. And Scotty 2 Hotty, I think, was past his prime. Not past his prime, just the gimmick wise. He had Too Cool, and that had already faded away, and he kind of run his course with teaming with Rikishi. So Gregory Helms wins the match. Fine. I think it was a solid opener. Get a bunch of guys in there going crazy and wake up the crowd. You got any thoughts on that one?
No, it's like I said. I think the right person won with Gregory Helms. I couldn't see anybody else at the time like trying to carry that division.
Lady Prime says he had not evolved. Speaking about Scotty 2 Hotty, yeah, he was still doing the worm. The last time I saw him, he was still Scotty 2 Hotty. He hadn't changed. He wasn't anything more than he was in 99, 98, 2000 with Too Cool.
I think the only thing that changed about Scotty over the years was he lost his hair.
He lost his hair. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's not a knock on him. He's a great wrestler, and I believe he was in a producer role or an agent role at times too. But it just as far as a character on TV, no evolution. He was still the same guy, still doing the worm. There was, he found out who he was, but as far as being on the big stage, there was no growth, no evolution, as Lady Prime says. The second match. It says it's 3 on here on my match listing, but they included the dark match. The dark match was the Boogeyman versus Simon Dean. It was 2 minutes, but I didn't watch that match. I'm just including it just for historical sake. The second match was JBL versus Bobby Lashley. It's an 11-minute match. But before that, if I'm not mistaken, Fit Finlay comes to the ring, right? He's looking for a fight. Is that what it is?
Come out there and jump Lashley.
Who did he bring to the ring? Didn't he drag somebody with him to the ring?
Man,
it
was one of the announcers or something. Somebody backstage.
Oh no, it was it was one of the girls, right? It was one of the girls. Anyways, I can't remember what happens, but the bully Bobby Lashley comes to attack Fit Finlay. Fit Finlay's just trying to make a statement and get his name out there. Just doing something for promotional. And then this bully, big old Bobby Lashley, goes out there to pick on somebody smaller than him. Was not happy with that. What's up, Carmen?
Hey, Carmen. I
was about to say good morning, Carmen. I'm so used to streaming in the morning. Hey, Carmen. Good to see you. We're talking the 2006 No Way Out pay-per-view, the WWF pay-per-view, WWE. That was 20 years ago, and it continues to make me feel very, very old.
I'm going to have to go to the store after this and get some Just for Men and dye the gray out of my beard.
Yeah, I got some whites showing up, and Lady Prime doesn't want me to get rid of them. So I just got in from shoveling snow or dirt. But Fit Finlay is out there to promote himself. He's new to the roster, trying to get himself some name recognition. The bully Bobby Lashley goes out there and attacks Finlay. But then JBL shows up. JBL, one of my least favorite wrestlers of all time. Like, just boring in the ring. Yeah. Not a fan. But one of my favorite characters of all time.
Yeah. I was gonna say I miss the APA days, man. Him and Farouk back there behind the door with no walls.
And if you don't go in through the door, don't bother talking to him. You better knock on the door. I think my favorite client, of the APAs was always Crash Holly. I think when Crash Holly and the APA interacted, I thought it was always funny.
I was Crash with the 24/7 hardcore title stuff. All that was great.
Super heavyweight carrying a scale to the ring. Lady Prime says she loved JBL. He had the best clothesline, but she did not like the trunks on him. She did not like the trunks on him.
Switched over from John Bradshaw to JBL.
Yeah. Carmen says, don't get rid of the white hair. Will make you look very distinguished. The white hair will make me look distinguished, or the dyeing it will. I don't want to look distinguished, right? Robert Springs says, I shaved my head a couple of weeks ago because I'm losing my hair, and now that it's coming back, I see a lot of gray hairs coming in. So, oh man, it happens, man. The human body's a funny thing. Funny thing. Lady Prime's picking hairs out of my ears all the time now. Man. Bobby Lashley today still looks like Bobby Lashley that was there in 2006. The man doesn't age. He does not age.
20 years later.
Jacked and ready to wrestle. Bobby Lashley's always been like one of my favorite, like he's on the verge of being one of my favorite wrestlers, but I always felt like the full potential for that guy has never been reached. I don't think it's his fault. I think it's booking and whatnot. Thank you, Lady Prime. Thank you. Black don't crack. Thank you, Lady Prime.
Yeah, I remember when he first came back. I think it was when he first came back to WWE from the Ultimate Fighting or whatever. And Vince had him in this weird storyline where he had this hat on. He was talking about his mama or sister or something like that.
Well, see, Lady Prime says he's so vanilla, so I guess that's why Vince thought he had to do that. I think when he got MVP as his mouthpiece is when he became big time. When he won the world title, he even defeated Lesnar. He has a win over Lesnar. He has a win over Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. I thought we were on the verge of, okay, let's give Bobby Lashley a very good long run. Of course, they wanted Roman Reigns to have both world titles at the same time, so I'm not sure. Carmen says, I'm proud of my white hair. My daughter wants me to color it, and I say no. Hey, there you go. You earned your white hairs. There you go, Russ. You've earned your white hairs. I earned these by working late nights and not getting enough sleep.
Just got one or two right up here and some of the sideburns, but it's mostly in the beard.
JBL, Bobby Lashley, any thoughts on this match?
I thought it was a pretty good match.
I
forgot who won and who lost until I rewatched it again.
Yeah, same thing.
JBL got the win.
Right. I thought that this was, another one of Bobby Lashley's wins on his way to becoming a huge star. For some reason, I was confusing this with 2007. I thought that he was about to go into the Battle of the Billionaires at the next pay-per-view, which was WrestleMania, but it wasn't. This is going into WrestleMania 22. That was 23. So it's going into WrestleMania 22. He's in the Money in the Bank ladder match there, but it's just, part of the building of him as a wrestler, as a character, as a force in WWE. He thought that this would have been a win, considering I hadn't seen the pay-per-view in quite a while. But Bradshaw gets the win. Good stuff, with the outside shenanigans and whatnot. So
hit up with that shillelagh. Right. It looked like it right off the collarbone, man.
It did look like a pretty solid hit. It did really feel like a pretty solid hit. Say that, Russ.
How do you not break your collarbone doing that, man?
Oh, well, because he's got a little bit more muscle on his collarbone. Mine, you can see right here.
Yeah,
I got nothing to protect it. Thank you, Carbon. Appreciate it. Yeah, so just a good heavyweight match. I thought 11 minutes was about a good run time for this match. Not too much. I will say something. There is a match later on that I think took place about at least 5 to 6 minutes longer than it needed to. I thought 11 minutes was good for what it was. JBL, Bobby Lashley, established Bobby Lashley looking dominant. JBL gets the win like a heel's supposed to. It's not a clean. He cheats to win. If I'm not mistaken, JBL goes on the next pay-per-view to defeat Chris Benoit for the U.S. title at WrestleMania 22. So you continue that heel little streak, that heel little run. Bobby Lashley in the Money in the Bank ladder match that I believe Rob Van Dam wins, but he has an impressive showing, climbing the ladder, doing all kinds of crazy stuff in a wild card or a demolition derby type match. So Lashley, this is part of his progression. He's got to get a loss, and it's got to be to a cheating heel. So it works out fine. He looked dominant in his loss, and it wasn't a clean loss. So I don't think anybody got hurt. I think the right guy went over.
I was glad to see that Jillian Hall didn't have that growth on her face still.
Just the random things that happen in WWE. Yeah.
Like, how do you explain that to somebody? So this dude named the Boogeyman bit this girl's face off.
Man. And I forgot, JBL's coming off of his 2004 run into 2005 where he loses the title to John Cena at WrestleMania. He's kind of floundering for a year. He had his cabinet during that 2004 reign, that world title reign. He had the longest title reign in quite a while. And it's the same thing as giving birth to a hand. Yeah, just the random crazy things that happen in wrestling. And so I think this is kind of like reestablishing JBL where he's going to be. He gets the win as a heel, uses the outside interference. It's going to go on to the U.S. title, find himself a good little secure spot on the card. You don't forget that. No, you don't forget that. You don't forget that a hand was born on Raw, and you don't forget that growth on Jillian Hall's face. And then
when somebody else walks in the room and sees what you're watching too, and they're like,
"Yep." Jillian Hall, didn't she also go through a Britney Spears singing gimmick? She was a bad singer.
Yeah, I believe so.
Man, So that was what was funny to me, is seeing a lot of these people on this show that had to sit and think, man, what happened to them? Where are they now, or what did they do? And so Jillian Hall, one of the ones that did crack me up, because I think the highlight of her career was being with JBL, the cabinet member, and then it was downhill from there, I guess. The next match. It was open challenge. Melina managing Eminem, Mercury, and Johnny Nitro put an open challenge, and Matt Hardy accepted. Oh, she's a real estate agent, I believe, is what Lady Prime says. So there you go.
Oh, that's true.
Eminem, managed by Melina, which she's the second M, right? Takes on or puts out an open challenge. Matt Hardy accepts, and his tag team partner is revealed to be Tatanka. When Lady Prime got into the truck while I picked her up at work today, she said his name was Katanka.
What do you expect from a Chris Jericho fan, man?
I said, what was his name? Oh, Tatanka. I was like, no, I know what I heard. So forever going forward, his name will be Katanka. Any thoughts on Tatanka? It's kind of he had come back during the 2006 Royal Rumble, if I'm not mistaken, but it just seems kind of weird looking back. I believe he had been there maybe off and on a little bit, but just coming back to this pay-per-view out of nowhere, going back to this 20 years ago, just weird seeing Tatanka with this group of guys.
Yeah, I had forgotten about that too. Like, of all the people that I thought were going to come out, Tatanka was not in my memory banks.
If I'm not
for a second, I thought maybe because Matt Hardy had the V1 gimmick, so I was thinking maybe Shannon Moore.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken,
that theme song, that's still like my all-time favorite theme song of Matt Hardy's. I love that.
The I Could Slam a Tornado or whatever it is. I used to like the Matt Facts, and there was one Matt Fact. It used to come off to the screen, off to the side, and I was like, oh, right on, Matt. It said I believe it said Matt Hardy hates mustard, and I was like, yes, like right on. I'm with you.
Even back, I think it was one of the SmackDown versus Raw video games. They put that version of Matt in, and they had the Matt Facts on the entrance.
That's awesome.
Preloaded with a couple different ones.
That's genius. I love it. Matt Hardy and Tatanka versus Mercury and Nitro Melina. How many times did you watch the entrance to this match?
Maybe not as many as you did. It's funny though. Every time I see Melina's entrance, I can't help but think about when Santino Marello tried to do it. And he fell off there.
Lady Prime is not a fan of Melina. She just thinks that there is something off about her. I think a younger Lady Prime looks very similar to Melina. They had some very similar facial features, some similar body features. The lower body, maybe not up top, but you can enhance that. He picked up our son late because of that entrance. I texted Russ, everybody in the chat, if you're watching or whoever sees this later. I texted Russ. I don't think I'm going to finish the show before we go live because I was rewatching it again. I don't think I'm going to finish it because I'm stuck on the tag team match. I keep rewinding Melina's entrance into the ring. And so, let
me know if you ever need a couch to crash on, man. If you need a safe space to hide.
Melina, definitely one of the all-time memorable diva entrances, I guess, because she was still with that diva era of women, right? Was it the women's title or was it the divas title? So I guess they were like the diva eras.
I can't remember if the divas title came into it yet, 2006 or not.
It might have been, but definitely a very, very memorable entrance. I don't know. I'm sure that entrance was more over than the tag team, but. Yeah. But I did like Eminem. They were a good tag team, and they were like one of really the only tag teams during that time period. Everybody was just, let's pair these guys up together and pair these guys up together. I do appreciate a good tag team. Tag team wrestling is on the decline. Once again, we're just during one of those periods where there's not a lot of tag teams, or they're just not featured the way they should be. AEW for a while there was tag team heavy. I think even to their detriment a little bit. I think some of those guys should have been singles, but I think back to 99, some of the tag teams we had the Hollies, we had the New Age Outlaws were still there. Edge and Christian were coming onto their own, the Dudleys, the Hardys. We had the APA. There was a run of good tag teams during that time period. And within like a year, it would be back to just Edge, Christian, and the Hardys.
Yeah.
I don't
throw so many random people together, and then a couple weeks later, gone, split up, like Matt Hardy and Tatanka. Just completely random tag teams.
Yeah, that's it. Oh man, I don't even. Well, let's see. I'm looking at WrestleMania 22, which is the pay-per-view the next month. I think SmackDown's title is not defended. I believe Raw's tag team title is defended, and it's Big Show and Kane versus Chris Masters and Carlito. So 4 singles wrestling for the tag team title. There you go. That was probably one of the better Big Show showings at a WrestleMania. Which is just weird. He has a very poor WrestleMania.
You didn't like the sumo fight or Floyd Mayweather?
I thought the Mayweather fight was great. I love that. I thought that was really, really good for what it was. The spectacle of it. There was talk when he first debuted at St. Valentine's Massacre, the February pay-per-view in 98. No, I'm sorry, in 99, which I tell you how many years ago that was. It'd be even more crazy. It was 27 years ago. The thought was that him and Stone Cold would headline WrestleMania 2000. Now, he was part of the main event, with the McMahon in every corner, but he was the first one eliminated. And other than the WrestleMania during the COVID years, he never really touched the main event. And that match wasn't advertised. It was just, they recorded it after McIntyre defeated Lesnar. So Big Show, he doesn't have a very strong showing at WrestleManias. He was in another title match at WrestleMania 25. Him, Edge, and Cena had a pretty good match, triple threat match, but that's about it.
I mean, it seems like it's always been rare for somebody to come from another company and Vince actually push them.
The only one guy I could think that really, really got that treatment was Flair the first time around. He comes in, he wins the Royal Rumble at the 3rd spot.
Yeah.
But he was a star already, but that was just the first run. Yeah, I mean, you're kind of right. Sid came in and was pretty strong. He wanted Sid to be the next Hulk Hogan, and Sid, I think I want to be a heel. So maybe that's why. Maybe it's because they didn't grow up in the system, and so I don't know. But back to the tag team title match, 10 minutes, 28 seconds, 10:28, my birthday. Matt Hardy and Tatanka defeat Eminem. What'd you think of this match?
It was a good match. I mean, honestly, I didn't remember a lot about Eminem as a tag team. Like every time I think back on them, I always think of when took the ladder.
Mercury got his face destroyed by Jeff Hardy.
That's the biggest thing I always remember about them.
Well, yes, of course. Yeah, good match. It's just funny. Tatanka could still go at this point, but I looked it up. He would have been about 45, 44, 46 years old, somewhere around there. Just funny to think at WrestleMania 9, he's wrestling Shawn Michaels for the Intercontinental title. And that's it for his WrestleMania appearances. He's in a 10-man tag at WrestleMania 10. It gets canceled for time constraints. He's part of the Bam Bam Bigelow versus Lawrence Taylor match. He's just in Bam Bam Bigelow's corner, to take on the football players on the other side. But he's not on the card. He was at a Superstars taping in February of '96. I was at that show in Corpus, he wrestled on some of the matches there, but that's really around the last time I saw him was in 96, spring of 96. And he's gone for a while. And then he comes back in 2006 to WWE. He's carrying a little bit more weight than he had. I'm not saying he's fat. He's just carrying more weight. He's bulkier. I've never really been the biggest Tatanka fan. I'm more a fan of his toys. Every time I see his toys, his Elites, or I have those WWE Superstars. They look like the He-Man figures. I've bought those toys. But as a wrestler, I was never really really big on the Tatanka train. When he wrestled Shawn Michaels for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania 9, I was disappointed. I wanted Shawn Michaels to have a better match, but he looked good here. I believe him and Matt Hardy, Tatanka eventually turns on him somewhere down the line, and they have a feud. Am I mistaken? Or at some point, did Matt Hardy team up with Animal?
Yeah.
I know Animal. I know
remember.
I know Animal and Heidenreich teamed up at some point. I believe they won the tag team titles or something like that.
They tried to make like a new Legion of Doom.
Yes.
Painting stuff.
Yeah, but I believe at some point Matt Hardy also teamed up with Animal, and I don't know why it was always Matt Hardy put in these spots.
Yeah. I wouldn't doubt it.
Matt Hardy, Tatanka. Yeah. Matt Hardy and Tatanka get the win. Obviously, this is to extend their feud. They can get a tag team title shot on SmackDown at some point because it's not on.
That the pay-per-view wasn't for the tag titles.
Yeah, well, yeah. And it should have been, right?
Yeah.
Could you imagine if Matt Hardy and Tatanka leave tag team champions? It's pretty interesting. But then again, Eminem was their tag team champions. They really didn't have any tag teams. I guess I don't know. Any final thoughts on that one?
No, I think that pretty much covers it.
All righty. Next up, and this is the match I think that went about 5 to 10 to 6 minutes, somewhere in that range. Too long. Chris Benoit versus Booker T for the United States title. What'd you think?
I actually liked that match, man.
Did you? Okay. All right. That's good.
All the stuff leading up to it, like Randy Orton having to step in the best of 7 series and all that stuff. But I kind of like that match, man. Of course, it's very rare I see a Benoit match anymore.
That's true. He's the missing link from wrestling. He's gone. He's erased from history.
Because Orton won his first world title from Benoit. They can't talk about that.
They don't show it often,
All the great matches that he had with Kurt Angle, they can't talk about any of that. It's like such a part of the history that just has to be erased.
Yeah. Chris Benoit, outside of what he did, outside of all that, one of my all-time favorite wrestlers in the ring, and it's like you said, it's gone, it's erased, and it has to be. It really does. It really has to be. There you go. Thank you. Matt Hardy teamed with Animal on SmackDown in early 2006. So thank you, Robert. So then maybe this is right around that same time period. He couldn't get the win with Animal, so he goes to Tatanka. Maybe that's what it is, or maybe it's reverse.
Yeah.
So something like that. So there we go. Matt Hardy was wanting to win the tag team titles without his brother, I guess. Chris Benoit defeats Booker T by submission for the United States title. Now, I did think the match dragged a little bit. I thought it was slow. I thought it was a very WWE match, or WWF. There's a certain style that they wanted him to wrestle, because all I could do was compare it to their WCW Best of 7 series that took place however many years beforehand. This is 2006. That would have been, 98, 99, around that time period. So 8 to 7 years before that, they were younger guys. Booker T was a little leaner, but that Best of 7 series in WCW is so good. I believe it went actually 8 matches because the 7th match was a draw or something like that. Such a good Best of 7 series. I didn't think the WWE Best of 7 series even touched their WCW one, but that's right. You're right. Randy Orton stepped in at one point because Booker couldn't go, won the match, and Booker gets the title. Just very weird booking, whatever.
All the backstage stuff with Teddy Long was like that like hit the nostalgia right there for me.
I did write down something that it's not even on the. Oh yes, the smile on Booker's face after he was pretending his groin was hurt or something like that, where he's down by the steps, and then he throws Benoit into the steps, and he just gets up, and the smile on his face. I did pop while I was watching it, cracked up laughing for that one. But I did think this match just went a little too long. But I can't say they did have the crowd into it, because when Benoit kicks out of a very, very close 3 count, the crowd erupts.
Yeah.
And so I guess more the crowd was in the line of thinking like you were, whereas I was kind of just bored with this match. Not necessarily bored, but just I have a very tough, or I have a big problem with nostalgia. And so I remembered what they did some years before, and it's just like, why can't this match touch that? You know, and that's on me.
7 was like, it was a level above that.
Right. And so you enjoyed this match. The right guy went over then, I guess. 20 years later, you could say that.
Yeah, that was the screenshot I grabbed for the Instagram story.
There you go. Any other final thoughts, Booker T, Chris Benoit?
No, I don't think so. Pretty much.
All right. What happens after this match when Chris Benoit goes to the back?
Oh, is that where it tied in with the Rey Mysterio?
Yeah, it's some very awkward clapping by like the SmackDown roster, like London and Kendrick are there, Bobby Lashley's there, Tatanka's there.
It wouldn't happen if the cameras weren't there.
It's just very, very weird, and it's like, I don't know, just clapping, and Rey Mysterio comes up and he's like, yeah, all right, man. And then Rey Mysterio goes behind the line or gets to the back of the line, and he, shakes everybody's hand for winning that title. Then he comes up to Chavo, Vicky, and Rey Mysterio, and he's like, oh, Rey, when you win this match, when you win your match versus Randy Orton, I'm going to be the first one back here to congratulate you or whatever. And it just very, very awkward. It just seemed very weird. I had forgotten. I had forgotten that Kendrick and London were in the match earlier, so I'm like, man, they just paid these guys to get into their attire and stand there. But I forgot they were in that. They were in that Cruiserweight Open earlier in the night. But it's very, very awkward, very weird little segment there. But we're going to come back to it, because the next match is going to be Randy Orton versus Rey Mysterio for Rey Mysterio's #1 contender spot at WrestleMania. Now, one thing I hated about this match, or hated about the build-up to this match, is they kept saying it was for the main event spot at WrestleMania. It's for the main event spot at WrestleMania. Rey Mysterio never main events WrestleMania, because this is not a match for the main event spot at WrestleMania. It's for a title shot at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
What's up, Ollie? Hey, I am Ollie Studios. That's my son right there.
What's up, Ollie?
Go check him out on Instagram. I mean, on YouTube. He's got some videos up. Some of them are crazy and kind of hard to follow. Some of them are hilarious. So go check out his shorts. He's trying to learn how to film, and he does this. Oh, you're right. I didn't mention Batista. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. He came out and did like a promo.
I think that's after the Bradshaw match, but before the tag team match. What did you think about his promo?
I'd forgotten about all that, like him being injured and coming back.
I felt like in the middle of it, he forgot what he wanted to say.
Yeah.
It was a really, really bad promo. It kind of just, well, I'm doing this.
It was pretty awkward.
I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I'm doing this. It's like he forgets what he's going to say. He gets the crowd to erupt, though, when he does say, hey, I'll be back sooner than later. I thought they put him in a tough spot there, because he was not ready for that role. He becomes one of the best big-time wrestlers there is. He wasn't necessarily ready for it then, because Batista is one of my all-time favorites. I think Batista is the best big match wrestler of all time. I thought he proved that WrestleMania 23 when him and Undertaker steal the show. As much as I love the Shawn Michaels HBK match, the John Cena HBK match, I love that Batista Undertaker match. It should have been the main event. Let me see that guy.
That was when he had the Raw and SmackDown contract.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's good. Yeah. So Batista eventually becomes the star that we all know him as, but here he was not ready. But he did look good in a suit. I do agree with that. He did look good in a suit.
The promo was a little awkward.
What is your favorite movie that involves Batista?
Oh man, it's got to be Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy. All right.
I
All right.
still don't like the fact that they made Drax such a comic relief character instead of making
Right.
him more strong like he was in the comics. But I do like Batista in that role.
Um, it's got to be Guardians of the Galaxy. You're right. But I think in Infinity War is where he's when he's interacting with everybody else. And Thor, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's some of my favorite parts, but it's still tied in with Guardians of the Galaxy. But I think in Infinity War, I think that takes the cake for me. This is a venturing off into comic book talk. This is why James Gunn worries me as part of DC Universe, because Drax and his sensitive nipples in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Just come on, man. He's supposed to be
that was too much, man.
He's supposed to be a guy that goes head to head with Thanos, and he's just comic relief. All right, now that we're back on track, because like Lady Prime, she did remember the Batista interview. Very, very weird Batista interview. We have Chris Benoit. No, I'm sorry. We have Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio. I thought this was a good match. It goes for 17 minutes and 28 seconds. I thought I miss young Randy Orton, where he was a little bit quicker because he's so slow and methodical now. I get why he does it. He takes the crowd on a ride. I mean, he's one of the all-time greats. I just think he was better in his youth than he was later on. Question. His theme song here is Burning My Light. Do you prefer this song or do you prefer Voices?
That's hard because I actually like them both a lot. I kind of miss the Burning My Light theme, but I do like Voices too.
I always felt, and this was me personally, of course, he would have needed to be the heel, but I thought he should have kept the Evolution theme. Even though he wouldn't have kept the group, I thought he should have kept the Evolution theme.
Too, yeah.
It's a very, very good theme. I always felt like he should have kept it because he was the business evolving. He was the evolution of the business. I would have kept it on him. I think that would have been a very strong theme. He always felt like the Burning My Light song was a boy band song because of the hey. But I always liked that song. I'm not a big.
I heard him say that he didn't like that theme song.
I've never been a fan of the Voices song, but I get it. It goes with this character. Robert Springs says, I can't wait to see Batista in Highlander. My dog just took off running. I have to figure out. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. I did see Batista with Momoa in that one movie on Prime. I can't remember what it's called, but it was okay. It was okay. Batista was the straight guy. Momoa is the one that is his life is out of whack.
I haven't seen that yet. I'm going to check it out.
It's all right. It's a pretty decent movie. Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio. Randy Orton, comes in this match with all the bravado that he's going to dominate Rey. He's, he pretty much puts that on in the match. Rey Mysterio with his counters, his quickness is it's good stuff. Rey Mysterio and Orton could go today, and it'd probably be a pretty good match. Once again, though, I prefer younger Orton. He just was a little bit quicker on things, a little cockier, it seems like, on things. I miss cocky Randy Orton. Carmen says it won't be coming out till 27, 28. So I guess it's in pre-production now.
I hate when they tell you about a movie or a
game. You got to wait 3 or 4 years.
And then it don't come out till because all I can think is how old I'm going to be when it finally comes out.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be 50 when Elder Scrolls 6 comes out.
For real, man. And they announced it in 2018.
They released a teaser trailer for it 2 years ago, and I'm like,
what happened?
What did you think about this match? Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio. Like I said, it's a match that can happen today. Those guys are still, maybe not as young and limber as they once were, but they're still two of the all-time greats. It's funny seeing them wrestle 20 years ago.
I really like this match, but I do got to say, man, I remember the lead up and everything when it was first airing back then in 2006. And part of me, when Orton was doing the promos saying that Eddie's
in hell,
he went to hell, and then there was another promo about something like Eddie has a better chance of coming back to life than you do winning. And part of me thought for a second, are they were they sick enough to do an angle where they actually faked his death?
Oh man! Oh
Because with
wow,
those
Russ!
promos, I couldn't help but think.
Like, why would they do that? Why would they say that unless
actually do a long-term story where they fake somebody's death? Would WWE be sick enough to do that?
That's crazy.
And of course they weren't. But then, not long after that, they faked Vince McMahon's death.
There's an "I did it" shirt. I did it. Vince McMahon's. I did it because I'm the one that killed Vince. They got rid of that shirt. They stopped selling it because not long after the Benoit thing happened, my cousin owns that shirt.
Storyline.
Yeah. So he's one of the few people who owns that shirt. And he was talking with somebody. There was on like some message board, or maybe it was on Instagram or something like that. And they were like, "What's one of the rarest shirts you own?" And he mentioned that he had that one, and people were like, "Oh wow!" So I guess it was one of the harder ones to get now. But his is all beat up. He said he didn't think about it until years later that, oh, I shouldn't have wore this one so much. So Ramus.
Part of me.
Oh yeah.
Did they do that? Because they did. They would do so much, like when they had the rattlesnake bite Triple H in the face, and they came out with that big swole spot. That drew me in. I thought that really happened by accident. And then, of course, Triple H took the fake makeup off. I was like, they got me again, man.
Well, never mind. It really happened. The Cobra biting Macho's arm with Jake's holding the. I was gonna say, did they trick you on that one? But no, that really happened. And then supposedly the snake died backstage because Randy was more poisonous than the snake was.
Randy had too much coke running through his veins. The snake OD'd.
Oh man, alive. Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, good matchup. A good man, I part of me wants to say it's a good story going into it, but I don't know, because like you said, they took advantage of Eddie's death.
Yeah.
Hey, Vicky, come to this pay-per-view we're gonna have where we have Rey Mysterio fighting for Eddie's for Eddie's legacy, and
but he's gonna lose.
But he's gonna lose, and Randy Orton. We're gonna replay the video of Randy Orton saying that Eddie's not in heaven, he's in hell.
Yeah. It was such an out-of-pocket promo, man. Like,
yeah. Who cut the promo a few years ago? Man, I'm trying to think. Somebody cut a promo a few years ago where they mentioned Charlotte's brother being dead or something like that. And
was it Paige? Was that when Paige was in WWE?
I'm not sure who cut it. It's just one of those ones. It's like, did you really need to say it? Did you really need to say that Eddie's in hell? And I guess so. Lady Prime says it was Paige.
Okay. I actually remembered something right for a change.
Lady Prime says he's still using Eddie's death to his benefit.
The whole LWO thing.
Yeah. Carmen says, and that will be with Henry Cavill as Connor, Russell Crowe. As Connor, Russell Crowe as Ramirez, and Batista as Kurgan. So there you go for the Highlander.
Excited about the Highlander movie,
reboot.
Henry Cavill in it. But I'm kind of surprised that they use Connor McLeod, not Duncan McLeod. I guess they're doing like a reboot of the first movie instead of a continuation.
Gotcha. I've never really followed Highlander. The other day I was reading it on Wikipedia, and so that was the first time I'd really ever read up on it, because somebody had made a comment and something else. And I was like, well, let me check it out, because I know there's a fandom for it, but I've never.
I got huge into Highlander back in the day.
No. I'll have to check it out one of these days. I got a lot on my plate, fandom-wise. Say that again?
I love the TV series more than the movies.
Didn't that come on after Raw or back in the day? Or was that before Raw? I always remember Silk Stockings would play after Raw in the younger, some of the older episodes. But I know it used to be a USA show because I can remember them advertising for it.
Yeah.
All right, Russ. World champion Kurt Angle versus The Undertaker. Here's my story with this match. Here's my story with this event. So in 2007, the Royal Rumble goes to San Antonio, Texas. I'm living in San Antonio at the time. And I have a friend that I work with, whose mom works at Walmart, so she let him know. She's like, "Hey, there's some wrestling DVDs they put out because they put out a big display." So he comes to work. He's like, "Hey, Brandon, there's some wrestling DVDs at Walmart. You should go check it out." I was like, "Okay, I'll go after work." And so I went. We're talking like $2.44 DVDs,
Man.
and I believe the higher price ones were $6.88. So like $3 and $7 DVDs. And this is where my wrestling DVD collection started. I got the 2003 Royal Rumble, 2004 Royal. I bought all these Royal Rumbles. I had all these pay-per-views. It wasn't only pay-per-views. It was, the documentary DVDs. Like they had, I can't even think. But the 2-disc ones, not the 3-disc ones. Superstar Billy Graham. There we go. That's one of them. I believe this is where I got Jake's DVD. It was things like that. And they had a whole bunch of events. And so this is where my pay-per-view collection started building up, because I have a run of WWF pay-per-views. At one point, I almost had from WrestleMania 1, minus the Wrestling Classic or whatever it's called, from WrestleMania 1 to like SummerSlam 2012 or something like that. I had every, disc or whatever. And then the network came around and I stopped buying. But, and I shouldn't have. I should have kept buying physical media forever, right? But this was one of the more expensive DVDs. It was one of the last ones I bought. So one day I popped it on. This is long after. This is probably about summer 2006. And this is still the time period where you had to buy your pay-per-view. So I had not seen this pay-per-view. And like you said, you didn't watch it till you got the network. It was later on. And so I put this pay-per-view on, and I'm kind of doing my thing. Whatever I'm doing around the house, just doing work. And then the Undertaker Kurt Angle match is going on, and it's a 30-minute match. But like I said, I'm still doing whatever I'm working on that day, whatever I'm doing, probably organizing comics, right? Something like that. And I just keep turning my head to this match, and it keeps building and building and building, and I'm just like, what is? And then they had me hooked. I mean, sort of something that I wasn't necessarily fully on paying attention to. So like I'm here just watching at the edge of my seat. And I know that Kurt Angle is going to win. Spoiler alert to everybody. I know Kurt Angle is going to win because he went into WrestleMania 22. But man, it's just this match is back and forth, the close kickouts, just everything. And Kurt is like, this is Perk Angle, right? Because it's not for much longer before he gets released. Just going back to like watching a clip of the match whenever I was driving with Lady Prime because it was playing on my phone. I was at a stoplight. Kurt having a handful of Undertaker's hair, just man, his punches, and just the intensity Kurt wrestles with in this match versus what we see nowadays. It seems too scripted nowadays. It seems too rehearsed nowadays. And just Kurt is just very, very intense in this match. Undertaker's great in this match too, because I believe this is like Undertaker's first time that he really gets to let loose and wrestle this type of match. Thoughts on this match, Russ? Thoughts on this match?
This was definitely the match of the night.
Definitely.
Like
easily.
The whole card, man. It was like, I'm not Dave Meltzer or nothing, but I'd give it 5 stars.
It's a 5-star match, yeah, for sure. Yeah. And it's a hidden classic. A lot of people don't know about it because you order Royal Rumble, you order WrestleMania. The pay-per-view in the middle kind of is it's kind of a wash. A lot of people don't necessarily watch it or remember it or anything. That this match is a hidden gem. Anybody that's never seen it, No Way Out 2006, Kurt Angle versus Undertaker. Check it out. One of the greatest matches of all time, probably or possibly Undertaker's best match up until this point.
Yeah, I would say so.
I think the only great matches that Undertaker had before that, of course, there's the Hell in the Cell in '98 with Mick. It's not a great match. We just remember it for the absolute chaos.
Almost died a couple times.
That's why it was voted match of the year. But other than that, it's his matches with Shawn Michaels. He has the Ground Zero match that just ends in, everybody comes to the ring and attacks. He has the Hell in the Cell match with Shawn Michaels a month later. That's October of 2007. It's a great match. But I don't think he had any other classics up until this point. I think this is the first, unless you want to count the Shawn Michaels matches. If you want to count those two, that's fine.
Yeah.
I know he liked mixing it with Bret Hart. I've never been a huge fan of any of those Bret Hart matches. And Bret Hart's my favorite wrestler, but I never felt he matched up very good with The Undertaker. His SummerSlam 97 match is my favorite of his Undertaker matches. But I don't think it's a classic, not the way this match with Kurt Angle was.
Yeah, this was definitely a 5-star. Such a great match.
Robert Spring says, see you, Fanboy Prime. I have to go and carry baby Elizabeth back home. Have a good one, and everybody in the live chat. Robert, thanks for hanging out. It's been a while because I don't live stream in the mornings anymore. At some point, Lady Prime and myself will come back for our comic book cover battles. We'll come back at some point for that. And but me and Russ may pick up this wrestling live stream, so feel free to join us in the future. I'm not sure when we'll put together something, Russ.
Yeah, anytime, man. I'm game anytime.
Well, you let me know the next pay-per-view we need to watch. At some point, we're going to go back to SummerSlam 95, but next month is
this is the only time I get to talk wrestling, man, because like nobody else cares about it. So.
Oh man, I'm trying to figure out what's on. I hear something going on. I don't know. There's something making noise in my house, but I'm not sure what it is. But Russ, what? And this is I didn't prepare you for this. What are your top 5 favorite Undertaker matches?
Oh man,
does this one make the list?
Definitely,
it's a classic. Okay,
definitely.
So
I can't remember what SummerSlam. I want to say, was it SummerSlam '98 where he fought Stone Cold?
Yes, that's the Highway to Hell SummerSlam.
That's got to be on the list. I always have a hard time deciding the first or the second WrestleMania match with Shawn Michaels. I was had a hard time picking between the two.
So I was in the building for both those matches. When they announced that it was going to be a rematch, we bought tickets to go to Arizona. We didn't figure out how we were going to do it, how we were going to get there, but we bought the tickets once we knew that there was a rematch. I'm personally pulled more for WrestleMania 25. Yeah. WrestleMania 26, I don't know if it just didn't have the same feeling for me. I don't know if it's because me and my cousin were really into the Batista Cena match, and we were arguing with the people next to us. They were a family from Mexico. It was funny. Like, didn't really speak English, so our arguing was just like, Batista's winning right now, and then they, when Cena gets ahead, the little boys like getting in our face, and so at the end of the match, he's doing this to us. What great moment, great memory. But the WrestleMania 26 match just felt flat, and once again, I have a bad habit of comparing things. So being in the building for WrestleMania 25 and feeling the ground shake because that's how into that match everybody was, it was a different feeling at WrestleMania 26. So I put WrestleMania 25 as my top. Him versus Shawn Michaels there.
Being there would be like such an epic experience.
That was awesome. That was awesome being there. I put WrestleMania 25 as my first match. I think this is his second best match. This one with Kurt.
Yeah.
I like his WrestleMania 17 match with Triple H when he's the biker Undertaker. I like that one. Between of the 3 WrestleMania matches with Triple H, WrestleMania 17 is my favorite one. I just like the biker Taker. I think his match with CM Punk at WrestleMania 29 is pretty good. Yeah. I think that's a pretty good one. And number 5. I don't know.
I can't. Was it the first or second WrestleMania where he fought Triple H in the cell?
That's WrestleMania 26. No, 28. I'm sorry. It's WrestleMania 28.
I remember the moment from that match where he took the Sweet Chin Music from Shawn Michaels and turned around and right into the pedigree. I thought for sure he was about to lose the streak right there.
I tell you what, that'll be the 5th match on that list until I think of it because of that moment. Like you said, I I remember during 27, there's something that happened at 27 where Undertaker almost gets pinned, and my cousin jumped out of his seat. We're looking at him because we were not wanting Triple H to be the guy to end the streak. We were certain that Triple H was going to end the streak just because he was going to pull his political card, and we weren't ready for it. You know what? Let me take. Well, no, those are my 5. The 2 Triple H matches, 17 and 28. The Kurt match that was here, the Shawn match, and then the CM Punk match from WrestleMania 29. Not in any particular order, but I think that's it.
I remember being on the edge of my seat when he took the sweet chin and then the pedigree, and I thought like, oh my God, they're gonna lose the streak right here.
I remember that moment. Yeah, I remember that moment. I know we got Elimination Chamber coming up. You don't have the ESPN app, correct?
Yeah, I don't.
So you're not going to be able to watch the pay-per-view. Are you going to get it for WrestleMania though?
Probably not. Sometimes my nephew sends me a link where I can watch stuff under the radar. So we'll see if I can get them to hook me up.
All right. Well, we'll definitely have a WrestleMania stream if we can. The post one, like have we done the past few years. Well, Russ, I think we've hit about the hour mark. This is kind of what I was shooting for. Just something quick, get us in and out. This is a pretty good show. Overall, show thumbs up, thumbs down?
Overall, definitely a thumbs up.
Did the right guy win, or did you want Undertaker to beat Kurt?
Well, I knew that Kurt was going to win.
Right. We watched it.
I can't remember how it ended up being a triple threat at that Mania. I can't remember how Ray ended up getting back into that.
So Teddy Long says that he wrestled for his number 1 contender spot, but he does something about Ray. Just because you won your way into the match, Orton, doesn't mean Ray lost his way out of the match, and so that's how it winds up doing that.
Okay. Yeah, I knew it was a triple threat, and I couldn't remember how it ended up. Gotcha.
Where's Undertaker on your all-time favorite wrestlers list?
Oh man, he's got to be top 5.
Wow. See, he's outside the top 10 for me, but that's just personal favorites. You know, like he's never been one of my favorite guys. But I can respect. I definitely respect everything he's done.
Like 100.
You got like
favorites.
You got 100 different guys.
I'm looking at my wrestling figure collection right here, and I'm like, they're all my favorite.
Do you have an Undertaker figure?
Yeah, I've got 2.
And I'm pretty. You know what? You have the mask one, right? Because I think I did see that.
Yeah. I've got the biker.
Nice. Lady Prime's got to go. She hasn't made dinner. I don't want my husband to Ike Turner me. Is that considered the Phantom Undertaker, right? Did they call him something like that because of that mask he was wearing?
Yeah, the mask. Who was it?
Mabel.
Was it Mabel? Yeah.
Yes.
Orbital bone or whatever.
Yeah.
I kind of would like to get the. I wish they would make this with the gray.
I was about to ask you if you preferred purple and black Taker or gray and black Taker. So
I kind of like the gray better.
Gotcha.
But I'm sure they'll probably make a variant of that same figure soon because they've got so many. Like I've got 2 Undertakers, I've got 2 Kanes, but they've made like dozens of versions of those characters.
Lady Prime says, I think they had the gray, so maybe something you need to look up. Trev, the shipping guru. Trev says, what's up, Russ? He says, what's up, you beautiful bastard? Oh, bastards, both of us. What's up, Trev? We're about to close this stream down. Russ is going to tell me the next show we're going to watch and talk about next time.
I'll come up with something good, man. Something better. Right. Which one was it that had the Isaac Yankem match that we had to watch last year and never did show on?
SummerSlam 25. We're going to come back to that one at some point because that's a very interesting SummerSlam because there's a lot of stars on that, but before they were stars.
Yeah. I think that was the very first time I ever saw Kane wrestle as Isaac
Yankem.
Yeah.
Well, you want to do a WrestleMania next? Getting ready for WrestleMania season?
Yeah. We'll do one of the WrestleManias.
You want to do WrestleMania 22, the one that follows this show?
That might be good. Yeah.
Okay. When do you want to go again live next week?
Yeah, sounds good, man.
All right. I don't have any plans, but if something changes, of course, I'll let you know. But we'll meet up if this time works for you. We'll either meet up at this time. If something earlier needs to happen, we'll figure it out. But we're still figuring out when all this goes. This was the test drive episode, so
whenever you got the free time, man, just let me know, and we'll because I'm pretty much a no lifer. I got nothing going on, so I'm good to go pretty anytime.
You and I need to stream one of these days, going through our Superman books, and that way I can get rid of doubles. And if you happen to have open spots
over there, are all Superman.
Oh, okay. Well, and if I have any doubles you don't have, I'm more than happy to send them your way. So,
yeah, I'll take an Action Comics 1. That would be good.
Yeah, I got reprints.
Yeah.
Trev, I missed
reprints too.
Trev, I miss hanging out with you guys on Saturday morning. Me and Lady Prime need to figure out a time when we can go. It would have to either be later in the day. Well, Lady Prime, you got to remember, I tell them that man is a beautiful man, so of course he misses me. This week, me and Lady Prime need to figure out a time that doesn't interfere with anybody else's schedule. And I mean, there's never a perfect time. You're always going to interfere with somebody's schedule, but where our following, we don't want to interrupt their viewing schedule. Wherever our following tends to watch, I try to not go live during that same time period. But it is what it is. Yes, I know you miss Lady Prime also. Most everybody misses Lady Prime on my channel. Lady Prime and her big comic books, her big comic books. And so, but it was good seeing you, Trev. Russ, it was good hanging out with you again. Lady Prime, it was always good seeing you in the chat. And of course, the lovely Carmen. And we got to see Robert Springs, and then Kenneth the Bird came by. So thank you, everybody that stopped by. WrestleMania 22, possibly next week. Look for it on the my live schedule, and then I'll try to do more advertising for it this time, Russ.
Yeah, but if you can't do it Monday, we can do it over the weekend. That would work too.
Yeah, I'll look at that, and we'll see. Maybe, yeah. Well, we'll figure it out. Like I said, this was the test drive episode, so we'll put together something, Russ. Appreciate hanging out with you. Always love talking wrestling with you, and
even with LP in the chat, I guess it was still fun.
Oh, it's great because we're watching pay-per-views where this time period where Chris Jericho's not there. I can't wait till we watch a show where Jericho is there. I'm looking forward to that.
I don't know if I can handle that.
All right, everybody. I'm going to say bye because I tend to say bye 100 times and I never end the stream, but I am going to end the stream right now. Thank you guys for hanging out.
Peace.
Peace.